Hello, everyone. And on the final CEO World Record Day, I am beyond excited and so, guys, privileged to onboard Jean Paul Laurent, who is representing Unspoken Smiles and is truly, truly pioneering in his legacy to curate diseases, oral diseases. And if you could just imagine that nearly half of the population on the planet face oral diseases and we never speak about that. It's in a way unspoken, it's ignored. So, Jean, welcome to the CEO World Record.
Thank you so much for having me, Laura. It's a great honor to join this movement, and I'm super excited to include oral health as part of the global agenda. It is indeed an unspoken disease where people, even though it affects 3.58 billion people worldwide, and nearly 538 million children are currently living with untreated tooth decay. Uh, by the way, this is a disease that's 100% preventable, and I made it my mission to really tackle this disease and make a big impact in the world. So I'm truly honored to be here and talk about oral health.
Oh, I love your passion. I love your obsession, Jean. Can you share with us what are these diseases and how do they appear through our life and why we are in the situation as we are?
Yes, so oral diseases ranges from many like one of the most common one is tooth decay, which is cavity, for mostly known. But there are other types such as oral cancer and noma and other periodontal disease that happens throughout the world. But many of those diseases differ based on each geographical location and each culture's background. And for instance, in India, where we worked, we find a heavy concentration of oral cancer, which is not something common in Latin America or some other region in the world. So for us as an organization, it was important for me to go global around the world to figure out what is the main cause of the or disease problem and what are those some of the disease that are impacting people's life. And what we found is that uh, some of the old infections that we can find in India is completely different in Latin America or the Middle East. But the underlying social determinants that causing people to have old problems is usually the same. And it comes down to two things: access to care, and can people have access to it, whether it's by transportation or is it, or do they have enough clinicians to provide the service to them? And access is one of the major points that's causing people to have oral disease. And the second aspect is affordability. Many of those people cannot afford it, and therefore they spend years and years without going to the dentist, and that's causing a lot more problems for them in terms of infection. So because all disease is usually a chronic disease where it get worse over time, and it could start from a simple cavity that on your teeth and then expand to something that could become old lesions that could explode and become much bigger and painful.
Wow. As I grew up in Soviet Union, and I keep telling that story to nearly every second one, but I very much remember the my visits to the dental clinic. It was very seldom we've done that, and it was awful. The equipment, the education was kind of
Mhm.
not at that level as it is, of course, now. It's been years ago, and once I moved to live to Denmark, it was again years ago when we got our freedom. The first thing that when the dentist, the family doctor dentist, noticed that is my teeth, and that it's just really, really bad because of yeah, I would say access, and that even if that access was available, it was very like highly poor.
Hmm.
So I mean, what you do is just impressive. And I'm even thinking about the, if there are dentists right now in countries like ours, Baltic states, United States, even Costa Rica, all over the globe, they are
Hmm.
listening to us now. I mean, what could be the what advice would you give, Jean, to them, to so they can step into the same purpose and impact, and maybe even redefine the way how they can treat causes rather than consequences? What your advice would be for them?
Yes, actually, this is our main purpose as an organization. So we want to stay away as much as possible from treating disease, but rather from preventative aspect of it. And this is at the core mission of our organization, and I think it starts with awareness. People need to be aware of what's happening and what could happen if you don't take action right now, and then that's what we are doing. And it takes really time. It takes a lot of time before people can process this kind of information. That's why, for behavior to really make to reach people, it needs to be consistent. So that's why we are very repetitive and constantly focus on the same information again and again until it becomes part of human nature for a lot of people, especially those who never been exposed to those kind of model before. And also, it takes a village for everyone to get involved, because everyone on the planet, there are 8 billion people on the planet. There are 8 billion mouths and 8 billion smiles to take care of, and everything, it affects everything from every background, every social, economic status. So this is an organization that belongs to everyone, and that's why it will take the efforts of everyone to get involved in order to really achieve the biggest impact that we could possibly make. And that involves local schools, government agencies, corporations, other nonprofit organizations to work in collaboration with us to really drive this movement forward. And also,
Oh my God.
the other important things that we need to focus on, it just, for me, it didn't make any sense to have beautiful young kids who happen to have their permanent teeth be removed permanently just for something
That's
that
right.
could be prevented to begin with. Leaving, like, if you have like a 13, 15 years old kids with all the permanent teeth in their mouth, and then having to remove the most functional teeth because of simple cavities that could be prevented. Now you're leaving them missing some very important teeth that could affect the self-esteem, the physical appearance, the diet. So it creates much more problem than just treating removing the tooth. And that's why we made it our policy to anything in our program. We don't want to focus on secondary care. Everything that we do has to do with primary care, prevention, prevention, prevention.
Mm. This is so profound. Gosh, I love that.
Thank you.
I totally see the entire ecosystem, and it's amazing, amazing, Jean.
Thank you.
I have a question. What is that really, drives you to unfold this crazy big idea, crazy big movement, because I'm sure that, it's far bigger than your lifetime, and it requires so much energy and, creativity and stepping into unknown. And it's, yeah, what drives you, Jean, to unfold this?
Yes, thank you for this question. I mean, I always tell people when they see me doing a lot of things, they get excited. They be like, I want to do it just like you. And I always tell them the truth. It's not for everyone. And for me, there was a big tragedy that happened in my country, Haiti, the first earthquake. And it was that moment when I traveled to Haiti to support the children that were at the camp, and I saw they were smiling and be happy. despite the destructions, all the bad things that happened to them. I expect them to be sad, to be depressed, but they were so happy to receive something as simple as a toothbrush that I bought for them. And this really touched me and propelled me to say, hey, there's a group, a large majority of people that lives that can be changed to something not only that I studied in school as my professional career, but also this is something that that God put in me through that horrible experience because God put something in a way from different reasons. So some people they could find their calling to somebody who passed away from either cancer or some other, and that propels them to take action. Other people, it could be something that happened to them personally that forced them to take action. And for me, it was the tragedy of the earthquake that really pushed me to do the things that I'm doing now. It wasn't something that I purposely wanted to do, but God put in me, and that's what keeps me going despite the challenges, despite the bad time. And knowing when you impact somebody's life and seeing the smile on their face right after that, it's really what keeps me going because my smile is the most important thing to me. It's what's connect me with people around the world. And smiling is one thing that connects everybody around the world too. You know, we all smile the same way. It's one of the most powerful thing everyone can have, and I think to be to represent this smile around the world, and it's just like a great honor to be able to connect people to smiles around the world.
Oh, oh my God. Yeah, this is epic, Sean. And I truly like reflect. I receive that energy from you, and it just, sinks in my body, and new questions are coming and reflections. Jean, the question: are you
Yes.
aware of your own fears that are like driving you forward?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, every day I wake up, you know, even right now, I'm always facing a lot of challenges on both personal and professional way. But again, it's the scary thought that that makes me think that I'm in the right place, and I love the challenge of solving problems, and I think if you if everything comes easy to you, that means you are not doing something right, and I think at the end of the day, when you look back or when you look forward to what could potentially happen, and nothing can stop you. It's just your head is in the bigger prize, the bigger picture that normally don't happen overnight. It takes time, it takes maturity, it takes wisdom, it takes a lot of patience to achieve. And I know for me, even if I don't live enough to see the result of what I'm doing right now, and I know I'm gonna leave many people around the world in a better place than they are today.
Oh, wow. Yeah, fantastic. And let's unfold the world record question,
Yes.
John. So, how is then the world better off because unspoken smiles are in it?
Yes, I mean, I think we are facing a world right now with a lot of uncertainties, a lot of problems, with war, and having unspoken smiles as part of the world records will be able to really give some people hope. Hope that that can not only make them smiles, but also propel them to take actions for themselves. Something, no matter where they are, what they are facing in life, bringing a smile on their face could really make a big difference, in their life. And I think among every other members that you're gonna have on this platform, having something that people can relate on a personal level, it's a great, both a great honor and a great possibility to reach them where they are. So that's what I feel. This is so important.
Mm. It's music, absolutely music. Jean, thank you so much
Yeah,
for being who you are, for stepping into your audacious impact, for showing this bravery. The world needs you. Every kid, every parent, we need to hear and be educated about what you do. It's amazing, and smile on our faces. It produced so much energy. I cannot even, look at myself without the smile, because
that's
smile
right.
is a part of my soul and of everyone's soul. So thank you, Jean, for
You're
for
welcome.
being who you are.
And yeah, I mean, I think, and also the people who have beautiful smile tend to really show it, and also people who are not confident about the smile because they have problems behind
Mm.
the smile, whether bad teeth or anything like that, tend to not smile at all. And that's where the name Unspoken comes from, because we want to tell the story behind the smiles and also help them achieve optimal smile, whether they have problems or they cannot afford to take care of the smile. We will step in and help them bring that bright smile that they are hiding or
Oh.
they want to show.
Whew, unspokensmiles.org, guys. Check that out. Thank you, Jean.
Thank you so much, and a great honor.
Amazing.